He fell to the deck and both legs fell on top of him. He's one of my favorite clients I ever had. You couldn't get this guy down for anything. What happened was he was from Detroit and he heard that people were making money in the oil field. Things were really booming. They needed warm bodies in the Gulf. So he came down, stayed in a mission in New Orleans, took a bus that let him off about 20 miles from the boat company where he was going to go work it. He walked that whole way. Got there at about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. They said, "You're hired." To put him in a carry-all, brought him to the boat. They needed another deckhand. This guy didn't know what he had no clue what he was doing. On one of his first days on the job, they backed up the crew boat to the rig, and the waves or the seas were coming at the boat, at the rear of the boat, so that it could hang off of the boat. They use a rope swing to swing onto the rig. My client didn't know what was going on, so they both swung off. They gave the signal to the captain to put it in gear and come off. Well, he did, and my guy thought he was doing something good. Well, he started feeding the rope through the bit. That's a big no-no that nobody told him. You don't get in the bite of a line. So what happened was it got around his waist and started to tighten. So he managed to get it around his knees, and that's when it really started to tighten up. And it picked him up off of the deck, and he heard both legs snap like this and broke. He fell to the deck and both legs fell on top of him, severed both of his legs, one just above the knee and one below the knee. He almost died. They put his legs with a frozen brisket in an ice chest. They figured they could save it. When he got to the hospital, I talked to the doctor. They said he had 0 blood pressure. He'd lost so much blood. You can imagine now, a young man has no legs. What we did was we got him the best prosthetics that money can buy. We got him a special thing to drive with. The company was terrible during this thing, and but we were able to settle it for trial. I stayed in touch with him a long time. I don't know. I lost track of him a couple of years ago, but he had such a great attitude after this thing. I remember he posted one thing on a particularly cold morning on Facebook. I saw him say that it's so cold out there, even his prosthetic devices had goosebumps. That was his attitude. I think the key thing that changed for me was that they weren't approving his medical, which I thought was just very stupid. When I have any Jones Act case, I call the defense lawyer and say, look, this is a list of the people I need to take depositions of, and they line it up. This particular lawyer said, "I'm not producing one person. Go find them, subpoena them." So I had to go and hire somebody to go find. This is somebody that's representing a company that was responsible for not training this guy and him losing both of his legs in an offshore accident. And it made me really hate them. I hired an investigator to go find all of the witnesses and get them with a subpoena. I was all over the Gulf South with these guys. It was a very, very hard-fought, contentious, nasty battle till the end. We settled it for him and structured a settlement so that increased as he went and got older and make a lot more money, which he deserved. You know, who would choose 2 severed legs for any amount of money? And the companies still act like, oh, that's too much money. Well, what's too much money? One lesson somebody could take from this case would be, they don't care enough to tell you how to do this job, run away. It's not worth it.